Hey guys, Gus here from Defimedia. Day 2 here at Redacted Live at the Miami Beach Convention Center. And of course, I'm here with everybody's favorite Dreamer. And he's got an incredible project called Hodlbonds. He's been telling me a little bit about it. Sounds quite incredible. You guys are looking to hold. I think that my boy Dreamer here has something that you guys are very interested in. So Dreamer, please tell me a little bit more about what you're constructing and why you're here at Redacted Live.
I'm happy to. You know, a little bit about my background.
Please.
I spent 9 years working for Goldman Sachs. I covered hedge funds as a risk manager. And in that time, I learned a ton about the growing pains and the difficulties of these analog systems that banks are relying on. For the last 5 years, I've been building in crypto. And, you know, I'm very passionate about the vision of the degen, of the newbies taking advantage and control of their finances. But I also am very almost disappointed in the crazy volatility where people come in, they believe in the vision, they get wrecked by volatility,
Yes,
then they leave.
Definitely.
So what Hodlbonds does is it takes the professional risk management dedication and it mixes it with the degen conviction and passion to give you a product where you can trade like a pro and hodl like a degen.
I like that, actually. So you saw a pen point, you came in, seems like you're a big fan of crypto, it's really motivated you, but then you got so many people being hurt in the field, so it drew you to a place where you can say, what can I do to improve this space and make sure people have a long-term vision? Because you have a lot of people with short-term vision here. I mean, a lot of people believe in blockchain and Bitcoin, obviously, throughout the years, but you know, the pain points is that you get a lot of people that leave the industry because they don't have this opportunity. They just see, oh, the guy with the car or the guy on Instagram, and they're not thinking about longevity and asset management or how to better hold their assets. And what you've developed, you were talking a little bit about early, Saint's quite impressive. The GUI interface that you have in there is going to be very interactive. So people are going to have an access to choose an asset manager and then choose an investment strategy, right, in your platform.
Yeah, so if we break it down, essentially, traditional asset management is very clunky. It's not really available for everybody. Funds come in, they're commingled with other people. They're in the hands of the manager themselves. They're at a bank. You don't even know if you'll get your money back. You don't know if the returns are being told are accurate because they're unaudited. And you don't know if they're doing what they say they would. With Hodlbonds, you don't have to trust the manager because we've coded it to all stay on chain. And what they can and cannot do is reflected in code as well. So if somebody comes and they say, I would like to stack my Bitcoin or my ETH or my AVAX, you issue a hodl bond, it stays on chain. The only one that can ever access it is the holder of that bond. It never goes to centralized exchange, never commingled, and it executes on DeFi. We've struggled as an industry to see sustainable incentives and returns in DeFi. There's a lot of unsustainable efforts as we grow in the space. This isn't that. We're not printing any token. We are simply taking a very good professional model by our friends over at Blackbox, where Tone Days and others are strategic advisors, been trading over 10 years, and bringing it to everybody to enjoy on the blockchain through their Hodlbonds issuance.
Gotcha. Simplifying things, make it easier. See, we got a conversation earlier, and we're talking about asset managers. There's many. I remember myself at 18 to 20 years old, not really thinking much about that. I know that people are into wealth creation and wealth management, and everybody's got, you know, finances on the mind. But I think the thing about your platform is going to bring a level of education to people that didn't really think about how would I get somebody to manage my money, or what would it cost, or I'm not wealthy enough for that. But you're providing a platform that gives it easy access to somebody and something visual that people can see, and they can see where their money's going. Also, a set of trust. That's what's really important in this thing, is that, well, I don't understand the technology. If I just hand it over to Hodl, how are they going to improve or make sure that my money's safe? But like you said before, is that you put that safety in the software and not on the man, or not the manager that's making that decision. So at any time, they can feel secure and they have access to that hodl bond at one point, correct?
Yeah, and what they can and cannot do is very clear and audited. They can't move your money to another wallet. They can't trade it in any other token than you have designated in your bond. They can't use leverage. There's very little that can go wrong now. You don't trust people. You don't have to worry about liquidations. You don't have to worry about any leverage structured products. It's a simple strategy meant to accumulate the tokens that you have conviction in as a hodler. You love your Bitcoin. You're not going to sell it over the next 6 months. Put put it in a hodl bond and let it professionally accumulate for you.
I like that, actually. It's a long-term growth strategy with minimal downside, especially because most people that really get wiped out, it's always leverage. You know, if you've been a true holder for most top 10 cryptos at this point, there's almost no time that you would be up in this market. But again, people playing with leverage or the market, trying to time the market, you know, like we always say, it's time in the market, not timing the market. And I think that you're bringing that to somebody. I like the way that you've set it up. It seems simplistic, but also you've done a lot in the background to make sure that the people that are signing up for your account on Hodlbonds are safe, to make sure that they're going to receive sort of rewards, a long-term vision. You know, even in this, people think a long-term vision is like 1 to 3 years, but in reality, what you're trying to do is set up people to get the type of growth that they want without overly relying on their skills, on a professional. You're bringing a professional skill set to the crypto market. I know that you had your story, and I know you saw a lot of people get hurt in this. So it's amazing that you've been constructing in this space. I mean, a lot of professionals out here from the finance world come and they don't really understand what the client is looking for or feel that experience, you know, from the DGens, that's what we like to call them. Now, it's like, it's time to evolve to that. It's time to have that holder mentality, but still be able to increase the amount of crypto, of BTC, of Ethereum or AVAX on their platform that they have. That way, vis-a-vis 3 years, it's not just the interest you made, it's the growth on the actual coin that you've acquired as the price goes up as well, correct?
Yeah, I think if you're a hodl bond holder and you see volatility in the market, and you see red in the market, you're actually excited to see what's going to happen at the end of this, because you have a long-term time horizon. You've removed your emotions. The initial strategy that we're starting with is much more of a tail risk strategy. It performs best when the market is tanking or going parabolic. It does stack slowly in sideways markets, but those markets that we all get either really excited or really scared in, hodl bonds performs without emotion.
You're maximizing on volatility. You're taking that volatility approach and reducing the risk of liquidation, but increasing the amount of coin that you can acquire by those sharp turns as they go up and down in the market, right?
So when you look at backtesting and you see these major events and you apply the model within hodl bonds, you know, a lot of these tokens have crashed as we go into a bear market, and people find ways, you know, times to sell off and buy out, and some people get whipsawed. If you were holding a hodl bond, it would have just accumulated on the way down. And at the end, we're not focused on USD return. We're focused on your hodl token denominated return. If you hold Bitcoin, we want to do our best to get you more Bitcoin by the end. If you hold ETH, we want you to have more at the end, rather than you getting wrecked by the market, exiting, or something worse.
I like that. Guys, there's lots of way to earn in this business. If you truly believe in the long term of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin and Ethereum, I think that hodl bonds is great, because the idea is to hold for long term, increase the amount of coin that you have, and if those coins increase in value, I think it's definitely a win-win relationship that you're building with the client. I look forward to seeing your platform. I know you're just on, you're going to be releasing soon though, right?
Yeah, we're in audit right now. We're probably about a month away from going live. For those like hardcore degens out there, what we haven't touched, we have a secondary market. We have hodl loans and much more coming in terms of like financial engineering on the blockchain. We're just getting started. You can check us out at hodlbonds.io and find us on Twitter as well.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Streamer. It's been a pleasure. Guys, hodlbonds.io. I hope to see you there. About a month to launch. I'm going to check it out when you guys are ready, though.